gets near Pluto. Anyway, I just want you guys to think about this. That's right, I went to that tent the day the Children's Museum opened back there in Terre Haute. Now, you know, I go to the Children's Museum every day, and I contribute all this money to the Children's Museum, and it's changed my life, and it's all good. Yes, remember that. Back in 2010. But 5 years from now, when you start seeing these cool pictures from Pluto, nobody's really sure what Pluto looks like exactly, but we will be very sure. Just think about what's changed in the last 5 years. Has anything changed? When you get to 2015, I see a lot of you guys are in elementary school, some of you are in high school. When you're in college, has anything changed? Is anything different in 5 years? That's right, I saw Bill Nye back then, and he was talking about this, and reflecting light, and changing the world, and getting rich. Just see if anything happened. Just want you to mention that. It's going to be a big landmark event when New Horizons gets to Pluto. Last slide here. This is a picture of Saturn. It's a picture. If we had the planet Saturn here, I mean, you would notice. Yeah. But for those of you who can't see it, let me encourage you to look at this picture closely someday on the World Wide Web or whatever. It's also a picture of the Earth. These guys got the Cassini spacecraft 2 years ago out past the orbit of Saturn, pointed it back toward the sun, and they got a picture of Saturn in the picture of the Earth, right there. The Earth is just a tiny, tiny dot. If we could go, next picture, if we could go 1,000 kilometers, well, 10,000 kilometers off that way, and take the same picture, there would be the Earth. One tiny dot. And this is where my old professor, Carl Sagan, used to say, he used to call this the pale blue dot. And he used to say, he used to point out, you know, this is it. There's no cavalry coming to save organisms on Earth. I mean, this is, as he said, where we make our stand. Now, when I was in third grade, how many people were in third grade? I was in third grade. I know it's hard to believe. For about, it was about a year. Yeah, it was about a year. Mrs. Cochran, a third grade teacher, told us that there are more stars in the sky than grains of sand on the beach. And I remember thinking, Mrs. Cochran, are you crazy? Have you ever been to a beach, Mrs. Cochran? There's a lot of sand, lady. I mean, there is sand everywhere you look. Where I grew up, I was in Delaware, the state of Delaware, which has, by the way, very good corn. It's not Indiana, but it's very good. And there is sand as far as you can see, 1,000 nautical miles in every direction. There's sand. The tide goes out, there's more sand. There's sand, sand, sand. Mrs. Cochran, it's a lot of sand. There are more stars than all of that. And I start to think, I am really insignificant, nothing, nobody. Standing on the beach, really, not much different than a grain of sand. Really, am I? I mean, you look out at the ocean, if you go out just a few nautical miles on the ocean, you just disappear. It's like a cornfield. You're gone. And so, if you think of this from space, the Earth is really no different from a grain of sand on the beach. I mean, it's just another speck in the cosmos. And the sun, by the way, everybody, is not anything special. It's just another star. It's a medium star. There's millions of them, billions of them, billions of billions of millions of stars. And I start to think I am really nobody. I am just a speck standing on a speck, which is orbiting another speck, which is just a speck in the middle of specklessness. I am nothing. But then I think with my brain, which is only this big. It's not even as big as this thing. And of course, my old boss, his brain must have been quite a bit smaller. But with your brain, you can imagine all of it. You can understand all of this. And with your brain, my friends, you can, dare I say it, change the world! Thank you all very much. take some questions. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? Bill Nye rocks. Thank you.